The announcement of a G14 billion funding package by former President John Dramani Mahama for the construction of the Ho-Aflao Road has sent ripples of excitement, debate, and anticipation across Ghana. It is not just another promise of road rehabilitation. It is a bold declaration of intent, a vision to transform one of the country's most neglected yet strategically important corridors into a modern artery of progress. Before we dive deeper into today's update, take a moment to like, share, and subscribe to the channel. Your support is key to helping us grow and reach more viewers like you. Don't forget to hit the notification bell so you never miss out on exciting updates. The Ho-Aflao Road is more than an infrastructural link. It is a lifeline that connects the Volta region to the rest of Ghana and opens a gateway to neighboring Togo. For decades, the road has stood as both a symbol of potential and a reminder of the persistent gaps in Ghana's development agenda. Dust, potholes, and endless delays have characterized its narrative, leaving communities disillusioned and traders frustrated. Now, with this monumental announcement, Mahama is not only reviving hopes, but also reshaping the political and economic conversation ahead of the 2024 elections. The sheer scale of the G14 billion investment is enough to capture attention, but what makes this project particularly compelling is its timing and the promise of real transformation. The Volta region has long been yearning for infrastructural renewal, and the Ho-Aflao Road sits at the center of that demand. Stretching from the regional capital Ho to Aflao, the town that borders Togo, the road carries not just cars and trucks, but also the weight of commerce, the movement of people, and the aspirations of farmers, traders, and families who depend on it daily. In its current state, it tells a story of neglect, with worn-out surfaces, risky stretches, and bottlenecks that choke economic activity. Mahama's pledge to elevate this road to international standards is therefore a promise of dignity, of efficiency, and of a new era where infrastructure serves as a driver of growth rather than a barrier. What stands out in Mahama's announcement is his emphasis on transparency and efficiency. Over the years, countless infrastructure projects in Ghana have been marred by stories of inflated budgets, poor execution, and endless delays. Citizens have grown wary, skeptical of grand promises that fail to materialize once the political noise subsides. By assuring the public that this project will be handled differently, Mahama is not only addressing those fears, but also attempting to rebuild trust in the political system. The commitment to source funding through a combination of government allocations and international development partnerships underscores a strategy that blends local accountability with global credibility. It suggests a seriousness of intent, a recognition that the eyes of the nation and indeed the region will be firmly fixed on how this project unfolds. Beyond the politics, however, lies the undeniable economic significance of the Ho-Aflao corridor. This road is not just about easing travel between towns. It is about stimulating an entire ecosystem of growth. Agriculture, which remains the backbone of the Volta region, stands to benefit immensely. Farmers who have long struggled with transporting their produce to markets in Ho, Accra, and even into Togo will suddenly find themselves connected by a faster, safer, and more reliable route. The reduction in transportation costs will directly translate into higher incomes, reduced post-harvest losses, and increased competitiveness in both local and cross-border markets. In tourism, the Volta region is blessed with breathtaking natural attractions, from the majestic Mount Afaja and Luli waterfalls to serene lakes and cultural festivals. Yet, poor road networks have consistently discouraged potential visitors. With a rehabilitated Ho-Aflao Road, the region could unlock its tourism potential, drawing in both domestic and international visitors, and creating opportunities for hotels, restaurants, tour operators, and artisans. Logistics and trade also form a crucial part of the story. Aflao is one of Ghana's busiest border towns, a critical gateway for goods moving between Ghana and Togo, and by extension, other West African nations. A modern, efficient road will not only boost trade volumes, but also reduce the delays and inefficiencies that have long plagued businesses operating along this corridor. Transport companies, freight operators, and small-scale traders will all benefit from the smoother flow of goods and services. In an era where regional integration and cross-border commerce are becoming more critical, this project positions Ghana to strengthen its role as a hub in the sub-region. For the thousands of residents who line the Ho-Aflao stretch, this announcement represents more than abstract economic benefits. It is about jobs, both direct and indirect. The construction phase alone is expected to create thousands of employment opportunities, from engineers and skilled laborers to suppliers and food vendors who will cater to the workforce. For young people in particular who face the harsh reality of unemployment, this project offers a ray of hope. Even after construction, the multiplier effects of a well-developed road, new businesses, increased tourism, expanded markets will generate sustained employment opportunities that can help stabilize households and uplift entire communities. Mahama's decision to center his campaign narrative around infrastructure is not surprising. Roads, bridges, and public works remain some of the most visible markers of leadership in Ghana. Unlike abstract policies that may take years to show results, roads are tangible. They can be seen, touched, and experienced daily. In a country where infrastructure deficits have been a recurring complaint, promising to deliver a project of this magnitude strikes a powerful chord with the electorate. By calling the current state of the Ho-Aflao Road a symbol of neglect, Mahama is not just criticizing his opponents, but also positioning himself as the leader who sees the pain of ordinary citizens and is prepared to address it. The emotional resonance of this project cannot be overlooked. For many residents of the Volta region, the sense of being overlooked in national development plans has bred frustration and at times alienation. A road of this scale, backed by significant funding and executed to global standards, could help heal some of those wounds. It offers recognition, a statement that the region's needs matter and that its role in national development is acknowledged. The optimism expressed by local stakeholders following the announcement reflects this emotional dimension. For them, this is not just an infrastructure project, it is a symbol of inclusion, a sign that after years of waiting, their turn has finally come. Still, questions linger. The figure of 14 billion is enormous, and Ghanaians have every right to ask whether such a commitment is realistic, whether it will be sustained through the inevitable political and economic challenges, and whether the execution will truly match the rhetoric. These questions are not born of cynicism, but of experience. Too many times, grand projects have been announced with fanfare only to fade into obscurity when the realities of governance and resource constraints set in. Mahama's credibility on this front will therefore hinge not on the size of his promise, but on the clarity of his plan and the consistency of his actions. As the 2024 elections draw closer, the Ho-Aflao Road will undoubtedly become a litmus test for Mahama's campaign. It encapsulates the broader debate about leadership, development priorities, and the role of infrastructure in driving inclusive growth. Supporters will tout it as evidence of his vision and capacity, while critics will question its feasibility and timing. For ordinary citizens, however, the calculus is simpler. They will judge based on whether their lives improve, whether they can travel more safely, whether their businesses grow, and whether they feel the tangible benefits of development in their daily routines. The story of the Ho-Aflao Road is therefore more than just a campaign promise. It is a window into Ghana's broader struggle for development, trust, and transformation. It is about how infrastructure can bridge not just physical distances, but also social and economic divides. It is about how leadership is judged not by speeches, but by the roads, schools, and hospitals that stand as legacies long after the campaign banners are taken down. For Mahama, this project is both an opportunity and a challenge, a chance to redefine his legacy and to prove that promises can indeed be matched with delivery. As the dust of campaign season rises and political rhetoric fills the air, the people of the Volta region and indeed all Ghanaians will watch keenly. They will look to see whether the machines arrive, whether the ground is broken, and whether the asphalt finally replaces the potholes that have mocked their patience for years. Until then, the 14 billion Ho-Aflao Road remains both a promise and a test, a vision that has captured imaginations but must now confront reality. And if it is realized, it will not only change the face of the Volta region, but also stand as a landmark in Ghana's journey toward infrastructural renewal and economic transformation.
If today is your first time watching this channel or you are returning to this channel for the exciting content, please subscribe to the channel for more educative and developmental projects across Ghana and Africa as a whole. Do you want to know about the state of a project in Africa? Then make sure to like and comment the name of the project you would like us to talk about and its current state.